get it cracking. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. I greet everybody in love this morning, and I pray that you are having a good start to your morning. I do want to let you know that I'm going to be expressing some raw thoughts today, very unfiltered, because it's a lot of passion that I have that I have for this topic. I see a lot of things going on social media that are really, really disturbing to me, and I'm going to speak on it this morning. And so, y'all know, anybody who knows me personally, who has followed me, my personal page, know that I have been repping hard for Nipsey Hussle for a really long time. Not just since his death, but especially since his death, because it did impact me in a very personal way. But I've been a fan of Nips for years, and I've been a fan of his music, but I've also been a fan of his work. But more so than his fruits, I have resonated with his light. Okay, I saw a light in this man that was strong enough for me to basically, this was the music that I gave my son as options to listen to. So when I actually learned of his death, I was in Hawaii doing spiritual work, and I got a message from my son, who was in tears, letting me know that Nipsey had passed, because he had been raised on Nipsey. So that just lets you know how in tune and how much I appreciated the light that he was putting out. Peace, LaDonna. Peace, Stacy. Blessed rise this morning. What's up, brother? What's up, Jordan? So when he passed and all of these events transpired, everybody has something to say about the cause of his death, what happened. Everybody can speculate. There's a lot of fear that's being put out there. Fine. I don't care about any of that. If you were able to partake in viewing any of that man's ceremony yesterday, there is one indisputable fact, is that whatever was intended for darkness has hence been used for light. That man's ceremony yesterday was a celebration and a victory for the light. Okay, yes, he named his album Victory Lap, but you got to understand what that victory really symbolizes. It was a personal victory for him. It was a personal victory for Nip spiritually, but it was a victory for the collective conscious. And so I am so sick of people that claim to be so conscious and so woke. They get a little bit of information and they get stuck at this stage of fear. I call it elementary consciousness, because these are the people that are taking this victory for God, this victory for the light, and turning it into a fear monger. What is the enemy? It was all the enemy. It was the enemy's work. Fuck that shit. You niggas is whack. And I'm going to say it just like that. You niggas is whack. Because most of y'all claim to be conscious. Most of y'all claim to be light workers. Most of y'all claim to be doing all this love and light work. But yet you are promoting the enemy as if he has more power than God. Okay? Let me tell you something. Somebody posted this morning, yeah, that was the enemy. That was a big ritual. Do you think that they the only people doing rituals? Do you not think that it's people like myself included doing rituals on the other side for God, for his light to be to return to the prominent force in this universe, to counteract the shit that they putting out there? At what point does God become the victor in your narrative? You keep giving all your power to this so-called enemy and his so-called plot for darkness, but that means you have no faith in those that are doing God's work. You are a charlatan, and if you are promoting that shit, you are indeed the conspiracy. Get off my timeline with that bullshit. I don't want to see it. Yesterday was a victory for the light. I don't give a fuck what you say. We was on live television in every major city across the nation. I watched this shit on some shit from Charlotte. This man's mother got up and poured libations to the ancestors. Ain't nobody never done that on TV like that. You can't tell me that ain't a win for God and the light. She called out ancestors to protect her son on his journey. You can't tell me that wasn't a win for the light. Okay? I had somebody trying to tell me that, yeah, Nip's mother, yeah, she was hiding behind fake spirituality, hiding her pain. Fuck you. That woman has accepted the fact that her son was put here for a greater purpose. She said that her son, when she looked at him, do you know how hard it has to be for a mother to see her son lying in a casket and to still see beauty in that situation? She said that her son radiated. She said that her son smelled of a sweet fragrance. That is a sign of ascension, you morons. Y'all quit trying to make this something other than what it is. This is a victory for God. I don't care what the actors were. I don't care what role they played in. I don't care who perpetuated this shit. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Nip, for your sacrifice. Absolutely. At what point does God become the victor in your narrative? Y'all don't understand what critical mass is. So I have a degree in engineering. And one of the major things you have to know for any kind of a reaction, whether that's a small chemical reaction, a nuclear reaction, a fucking spiritual reaction, is that there has to be a critical mass accumulated on the positive of the side of the reaction in order for the reaction to be continuous and sustainable. We have reached a critical mass. There are some of us who are really doing this light work, who are really putting in the work for righteousness and for light to return to this space of darkness that you niggas keep perpetuating. And we have reached a critical mass. Nip ran the victory lap for that work. And I'm not gonna let you niggas take nothing away from that because I'm a part of it. I'm not gonna let you take nothing away from what God has intended for good. You cannot have it in this instance. So you can say what you want, but let me tell y'all something. If y'all following these people that have anything other than good to say about what they saw yesterday, y'all need to cut them off. They are charlatans and they are working for the dark. They're disguising it behind this love and light shit. They disguising it by this consciousness. I'm woke. I see more than everybody else sees. No, nigga, you stuck and you need to do some work and you're only reflecting your own fears. You are afraid of this so-called enemy because you feel powerless, but that's not me and you will not force that narrative down my throat, okay? And you will not force that on the people. We're not buying into that. Confront your own fears, okay? So that you can begin to see light reflected back to you in everything, even what was intended for darkness. That's personal work you got to do before you can be of service to anybody. Okay. I'm cool, y'all. That's all I had to say. But straight up. So anyway, y'all, I just had to share that. I had to get that off my chest this morning. Because I'm not going to let nobody take away from what God is doing right now. This is a critical time. And if you chose to be here right now, in this space of consciousness, at this moment, you have a hand in it and you have a choice. You have a choice in what role you're going to play in this because it is a spiritual warfare. But let me tell you, that enemy is clinging for straws right now. They're grasping for anything because their works have been ineffective. And that's why you see the world looking so crazy and so out of control and like something that you've never seen before because they literally are grasping for anything. They're desperate because they are weak. Love is the law. Love is the law and joy is your greatest ammunition. And so the more you feed into this fear and this anger and this sadness and this grief, you are debilitating yourself, okay? Have joy, celebrate. Yesterday was a complete celebration. That man took a victory lap, okay? Don't take nothing away from that victory, y'all. I'm out. Peace.